Welcome to the first installment of Movie Reviews. Tonight we go back to 1988 as we take a look at an animated film called Felix the Cat Movie. Now, before I talk about the movie, I am very familiar to the cartoon. I remember seeing it in my childhood, including Twisted Tales of Felix the Cat. Though I never was a fan of Felix, minding you. The film was released in the UK in 1988, while in the US 1989. 30 years later, I've rewatched it, and my god, was it horrible. Since I'm done seeing it, I have to review it, so let the show begin. The film opens with a CG head of Felix, which may look familiar. Madame Pearl warns the princess that the Duke of Zil, who is the princess's uncle, leading an army of cylinder robots, and captures both the princess and Pearl. But a hero from another dimension will come and save the day. And who is this hero, you ask? Well, it's none other than Felix himself, who is chasing the princess's tear. Then we are featured to the two scientists, the professor and his nephew Poindexter, who are after Felix's magic bag, which in the show, the professor is always after his bag. And look, the little fox is trying to piss on the bag.
Boy, could you use a Big Mac, huh?
Why is Felix laughing at a skeleton? Was that necessary? About Felix's magic bag, well, it can turn into anything and has various items. Felix bumps into Pym while avoiding these... I don't know what the hell those things are.
My theory was correct. Trans-dimensional movement has taken place here.
Trans-dimensional movement? What does this mean?
Parallel dimensions, of course. Two worlds existing at the same time in the same space, on the same planet, but on a different plane.
You mean like in the episode Trans-Dimensional Turtles?
Come on, Uncle.
Wow, didn't know their computer is a transformer. Then we get to see the Duke of Zil, and the song in this movie, Who is the Boss, is very catchy and is one of my favorite songs. And yes, the film does have musical numbers. Here's a fun fact. The voice of Duke of Zil, Pym, and Whack Lizardi are voiced by Peter Newman, who is the voice of Tiger and Monkey from Thundercats, and also voiced on Silverhawks and Tiger Sharks from the comic strip. And Chris Phillips, who voiced the professor, is also the voice of Roger Klotz from Disney's Doug, and Face from Nickelodeon's Nick Jr. Plus, he voiced on the 8th season of Beavis and Butthead, plus Top Cat the Movie and Ice Age Continental Drift.
Hey, that Duke, he's got a kind face. The kind you'd like to forget. Boy, I haven't seen this much fruit salad since I was in California. That's showbiz.
Jeez, and I thought Fozzie Bear's jokes were bad. Next, the princess is dancing in a bubble, complete with 80s music that sounds very fantasy-ish. You know Grumper? Well, it's been revealed that he is working for Duke. By the way, if you've seen the trailer, the Duke of Zil's eyes were visible. In the actual film, his eyes were never visible. Felix meets two mizzards who can eat metal. The princess tells Felix about her uncle, how this all happened.
You're ruling this place.
It's impressive, very impressive. But will it work when... was it supposed to do that?
He was horribly disfigured.
Come on, what do you got? You want to get in? Make me an offer. Ah, okay, I'll take it.
He paid with wrenches?
Why would he pay with wrenches? It makes no sense!
Is the Duke vaping? I guess that vaping must have been invented in the 80s. Felix, Pym, and the princess escape. While they were escaping, the professor and Poindexter give Felix his bag till they encounter these flying head creatures and the headhunter. That is when Felix brings out hats. Seriously, what the hell is up with this movie? And I really despise the film's animation. It's as bad as the animation from the CDI Zelda games. And it would have been awesome if the movie's animation was done by a Japanese animation studio. Only if the story and plot were any good. The Duke brings out Master Cylinder. Speaking of which, these cylinders seem to be a reference to the villain from the original show.
That's it? That was our big final showdown? That was... Honest to God, that was retarded. That was the cheapest face-off I've ever seen. That is the cheapest payoff this movie could have ever given us. God, this movie. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, real freaking cheap. Reminds me of how Ganon from Zelda Wand of Gamelon was defeated. So, Oriana is now saved. Whoop-de-freaking-do. This is one of the worst films of the 80s I have ever seen. It's like if you mix Sonic, 2006, Alice in Wonderland, Zelda CDI games, combine them and you get this horrendous trash. Plus, it has nothing to do with Felix the Cat.
In the words of the late Emmer Helsing 920 Prevost, God rest his soul.
My god, that was a chore to get through. The good news is that I'm done watching it. But there is a movie that is much worse than this. And that would be... Oh boy. Oh